Yes, I know there is potential for severe weather tonight, but you know me pretty well, and I'm focused on the CAG, Central American Yair. As are a lot of people. Delan Jariwala is like, hey, satellite imagery indicates that a broad low is beginning to form near Central America as SFC convergence intensifies as a tropical wave interacts with the monsoon trough. In addition, flow around the same frontal zone, strengthening the anticyclone aloft, is helping to deflect trades south. And so we're watching this spot to see what happens. The Euro is like, yes, there is going to be a low that forms, but it'll be down here. And the GFS has been like, no, there's going to be a low around the 21st, which is 5 days after the Scorpio flower super blood moon eclipse thingy, which we always have a watch out for 5 days after an eclipse for a major storm. So the GFS is like, I'm going to put it here by the Bay of Campeche, or is that the Yucatan Peninsula? Right there. And that's major because if it's over here, then it's probably not going to be a hurricane that affects the United States of America. If it's over here, it should definitely be a hurricane that affects the United States of America. Are you following me? We are in Mercury retrograde. My AT&T broadband keeps going in and out, so I'll try and keep this short if I can. Stephen Eckhart is like, hey, a tropical system on essentially all of the last 24 GFS runs. Now, people are not apt to believe this because at times the GFS can show fantasy canes that never come to fruition before hurricane season starts, and climatology. A hurricane has never hit in the United States of America on modern record. But hey, guess what? Let's watch the new 18Z GFS hot off the presses together. And there are low forms on the 21st-ish, 22nd, and then it just sits there for 5 straight days. See how it's just hanging out there for 5 straight days? And then it's like, oh, I just got my act together. I wonder what the coast is doing. And that would be category, oh my God, almost major hurricane level, you know? Although this is still at least 10 days out from any type of hurricane hitting the United States of America, I would think. But although if it formed on the 22nd and then went north, it would be about 8 or 9 days out. So yeah, it's a crazy situation. And this is pretty much how hurricane season goes, where you try and figure out which one of the shells holds the peanut. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense to you? Because all the models kind of drop different things. Rarely do they lock in on stuff together. But 949 would pretty much have us at major hurricane level. So we are definitely going to keep an eye on this thing. Will we get a hurricane before the end of May or at the first day of June? It's possible. It's 2022. You know, crazy crap keeps happening. But, you know, climatology and the history would say, no, it's not going to happen. So we'll have to see what actually does happen. Sound cool? Great. I'll be here with you pretty much almost every step of the way because this is what I do all the time. Yeah, I mean, and then we keep noticing a big storm that would be passing through the USA around the same time. So you get this big storm up here, and then it's that one right here. So that you get a storm that kind of the band wants to interact. We keep seeing some type of a both double action. You get a storm and then a hurricane. So it is something that we will definitely pay attention to. Don't freak out about it too much, you know. Although there's going to be a lot of wild and weird weather, I think, by the end of Mayday. Hey, Thursday, we'll be on the lookout for more severe weather as this area gets hit again. And then, looks like we've got a pretty decent storm coming on Friday. Yep, that's what that big, long thing is. That would be a storm on Friday. Yep, Friday. There you go. Fancy graphics. All right. Kind of sort of jumping around here, but people are talking about heavy snow on the 20th of this month. Yeah, check that out. That would be heavy snow. And then down here you get excessive heat in Texas. I was out helping a friend, pushing a wheelbarrow for a while today, and yeah, it was hot. And then heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain. And then you guys will get some heavy rain there. And there's our big Friday storm, which is the 20th. And then you get excessive heat all up through here. But then over here, you get much below normal temperatures as, you know, Earth is like a McDLT lava lamp that bounces around. And I do appreciate the fact that a lot of you have been with me for a long time. So you kind of are used to how I do things. And to all the newcomers, hello! This is how I do things. Yeah, we're looking at mixed precipitation over the next 48 hours, and you can see some definite snow up in the Pacific Northwest. And some heavy right there. That's where you might get some severe weather over the next 48 hours. And then you get a decent amount of precipitation moving to the north. Do we still have shit to talk about? Of course we do. So smoke them if you got them. All right, but not in a wildfire zone. Or if you are, be very careful with your, cigarettes. Because they can cause Smokey the Bear. Don't piss off Smokey the Bear. Oh, that looks like a dragon. Let's watch this area puff up and get all fancy with it. Man, I should have paused it until it was ready to go. Sorry. I just wasted like 8 seconds of your time. All right, but yeah, you can see the storms are... That's where we're watching for major storms, and they're getting underway right now as I speak. So stay paying attention. Waterloo, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas, Illinois. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, if you were to the west of that storm, then pay attention. What the Flux 171? That's impressive. We're talking solar. The solar flux, as right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sunspots on the sun, and we've had a decent amount of coronal mass ejections and solar flares over the last 2 months. We've had actually a lot of activity. But yeah, I mean, so the major date, we're within 5 days of watching to see if this thing develops. Exciting times for sure. And you can already see this area starting to bubble, toil and trouble, though no one knows what is going to happen. And anytime we do not get hit by a hurricane, when it looks like there's a chance we could get hit by a hurricane, I am super duper absolutely grateful. So at no point in time am I rooting for a hurricane to hit the USA. Unless it's like a weak ass category 1. I don't know if you remember a year ago or less than a year ago when a weak ass category 1 hit Houston, and it was actually fun. We went out, the power was out for a while, and stoplights and stuff, but the mood of the city was in general good. Anyway, yeah, those storms are puffing and punching. In Colorado, you could get corn-sized hail and stiff winds. ERCOT and the Public Utility Commission once again declared on Tuesday the grid is totally reliable. As I mentioned, winter is trying to hang on, and here, Brian Brett Schneider has shown the proof. Up in Alaska, you can still write your name on your back window, or you can just write the date. Remember, Weather Twitter's giant awesome team. Mark Sudduth, Hurricane Track, saying, speaking of CAG, Philip Papin, who's always yapping cool stuff about the weather. A lot of you noticed my Central American Gyre diagnostics on my website had not updated since last August. Finally, dedicated time to bring public version to the CAG page back. So this is good news for hurricane season for us weather nerds. Hey, check this out. The critical fire danger is kind of sticking along the New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma border. That's weird. Yeah, the wildfires have been kind of horrific in New Mexico lately. And they've been getting quite a bit of fires in California as well. And here, Nevada, no, what state? Utah. I'm sorry, I don't talk about Utah as much. I should. Hey, Utah, I'm mentioning you now. You guys have critical wildfire danger. That is fog. And the beige is wind. Here's the Plumtaw fire. I don't know where that is. Where's Plumtaw? Oh, Chris Vadja skies letting us know it's in Colorado. Treat every day like Colorado like it's a red flag warning day until we can get out of the drought. Jesse the feral cat from AccuWeather is like, okay, this is kind of cool. Remember the UV index? Well, used to be an estimate of how strong the sun is, 0 to 12. For the U.S. and major cities, now there's a worldwide forecast taking clouds into account. All right, so now we'll always know how strong the super cool sun is. Interesting, for sure. Absolutely. Without a doubt. All right. Yeah, it was hot today in Texas, and it's going to get hotter. And then David Roth was tracking this thing. It's 4 days away, but it's on the 14th, so this would be on the 19th. We'll see if this develops and hits this country. And that country is known as Brazil, and I guess part of Uruguay. But I don't know if it's forming really that well yet, but it's not the 19th yet. Yeah, all right. The whole team will be tracking this thing obsessively. Bobby Storm tracking the Yair. And you can see there's tons and tons and tons of moisture down there. Enough to cause trouble if we're to spin up into a giant ball and then to attack a landmass. So stay tuned. Pay attention. That's your thing. Hey, the new She-Hulk trailer is out if you're into that type of thing. And I had a giant massive crush on She-Hulk when I was 15 years old. She's a lawyer. Who wants to see a C9 solar flare? That's not really that impressive, but it's kind of cute. Check this out. There was a fire near the LA Observatory. And you know where you remember the LA Observatory from? A, you've been there probably. And James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause. You know, that's where a bunch of the shenanigans in Rebel Without a Cause went down. All right. And super duper absolute thank you to Mary, Cody, Risk, Licorice, Riz Frisk, OGF, Ralph, and everybody out there in Asteroid Fight Club. I'm now only $613 away from hitting my MAYDAY THORnews fundraiser goal. You guys are just utterly incredible and so great to me. If you want to keep it up, I got a snail mail, a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, Patron. Nothing but love and appreciation for y'all. You guys are always so good to me. And also thank you to Jesus Loves Gays on Facebook, Michelle, Keres Cellophane, James, Christine, Stephanie, Frisk Risk, John, Tyler, Texas Angel, Patricia, Alexis, Lauren, Barbara, Glenda, Arnica, Lightsoul, Dan, Marlita, Brian, Ann, Max, Teresa, Ricks, and 1988. All right, everybody stay cool, and I will be talking to y'all in the near future, because that's what I do. God bless everyone.